This is Bharat FM.
बजेगा भारत, झूमेगा भारत.
ये है भारत FM.
बजेगा भारत, झूमेगा भारत.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, welcome and adab. You are listening to Bharat FM, a one-of-its-kind, multilingual, eclectic provider of entertainment, information and news to Indian Americans. Headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, Bharat FM airs shows out of Cincinnati, Chicago and Phoenix. We take pleasure in our ability to cater to your bhakti, chusti, sfurti, shakti and masti needs with our audio and visual shows. Check out bharatfm.com for our online program schedule and archives. I'm sure the content will definitely tickle your senses. Tune in via the 24-hour web streaming on bharatfm.com or via the Bharat FM app. More information can be procured at 513-488-5070.
तो नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल, वेलकम आप सभी का भारत एफएम के इस कार्यक्रम में जिसका के नाम है रूबरू. लेकिन आज इस कार्यक्रम का नाम है कनेक्ट फॉर अ कॉज एंड व्हाई वी विल लेट यू नो इन अ शॉर्ट व्हाइल. So friends, the guest that we have tonight is someone who is very passionate about the cause that he is attached with. So let me give you a brief introduction about him before we get him online. Karthee Vidya's dream is to inspire every Indian to volunteer. After finishing his engineering, he started Team Everest, a non-profit organization with the aim of promoting volunteering and providing education in India. And this was in 2006. He quit his high-paid MNC job in December 2014 to work full-time for promoting volunteering. Through sheer hard work, Team Everest is now helping 40,000 kids every year with the help of 25,000 volunteers. That's really commendable. So with that, let's welcome Karthee Vidya. Hello, Karthee. Welcome to our show on Bharat FM.
Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of the show, Ashish.
We are highly obliged and honored to have you on our show too, Karthee, and to know more about you and your journey so far in the next 1 hour that we have. So let's go ahead and get started with our program. Let's first start with your childhood. Where were you born and how was your childhood like?
Okay, so I was born and brought up in a place called Arani, which is like 150 kilometers from Chennai in Tamil Nadu. So it's a very small town, famous for silk sarees and rice. There is a lot of rice mills in and around. So my father is is a photographer and a videographer who goes to small marriages, receptions, and take photos. My mom is the major breadwinner of my family. So she's a government school teacher. And I have one elder brother. So I come from a lower middle class family and had a very happy childhood, to be very honest.
So as a child, what kind of child you were? I mean, at school, what do you remember from your school days?
Okay. See, what do you say? I'm just very normal, shy kid. I used to speak a lot, probably with my friends or with my family members, but very scared of teachers. Not what do you say? I mean, very disciplined actually. If they give me any homeworks, I just go back home, complete homeworks. I get scared not to get any beatings from my teachers, so I just stick to the schedule and like not a rowdy kind of a student.
So you are not a naughty child at all. You are not naughty.
Not so much, yeah.
Okay. Well, not so much means you're a little bit then. Okay. All right. So tell us, see, when you were growing up as a child, usually every child dreams a lot, and those dreams keep changing as you grow up. So what kind of dreams did you have growing up during your school days?
Okay, so that's a huge list actually. I still remember it's my 5th grade, my first day at school actually. So the teacher was asking, they're sitting under a tree and like entire class was sitting under a tree and my teacher was asking one by one what they want to become. So I still remember I was the only one person in the entire class who stood up and told I want to become a scientist. So somehow I don't know, I was very fascinated about becoming a scientist at the time, but no one guided me. So the dream fizzled off, and like around seventh, eighth grade, ninth grade, I want to become a cricketer. So
Oh, okay.
I started watching cricket during that time. I was a big fan of Sachin Tendulkar at the time, and I want to become a cricketer. So we used to play cricket within school during lunch hours, breaks, all those period. And I had some 2 3 friends who also had a very similar dream that they want to become a cricketer. So I had one. I still remember, one of my close friend home had a stay over in his place. So I went over. We were sleeping on his terrace. I still remember that conversation. So he told, Karthi, like to become a cricketer, it cost you so much, and our parents couldn't afford it. And he told you can't chase such kind of dream. And so he is someone I always look up to, and I strongly believed, like whatever he told. So that dream just died over there. But during a very similar time, I also had a dream of becoming helping others actually, starting some doing some social work. So these kinds of stuff that I'm doing right now. Luckily, like there was no one who came and told that this is not possible for you. And today I'm here doing what I dreamt during my seventh, eighth standard.
So at that early age, thinking about something like what you're doing right now, what was
Yeah.
inspiring you? What was influencing you to think like that at that age?
Right. Yeah. See, I always used to share this story. So during my school days, right, especially during seventh to tenth grade, I used to travel like 15 kilometers from my native to a place to a school where like to have my schooling. And the school itself is at the center of a farm. So you open any window, right, you will see only greeneries completely. So it's in a pakka rural school. So in front of the school there is just 2 3 shops, small shops, because the school exists. That's the kind of place the school was located in. And more than some 50, 20, 30 village children used to come and study over there. And like I had a friend, so we are benchmates. We used to sit on the same bench, we used to play together, we used to have lunch together. So whenever my maths teacher asked to buy a notebook, right, a long size notebook which costed around 20 25 rupees at that time, he couldn't able to buy that. He couldn't able to afford it because he didn't had enough money to buy that 20 25 rupees notebook. So I used to, like I come from a background where I could afford this. So I used to buy the next day, but my friend couldn't afford it. So what he will do is he will go back home. He will work with his father. His father is a cycle mechanic. So in a small village. So like how much business you can make out of this in a small village actually. So every day he will earn like 2 rupees or 3 rupees a day by putting punchers, doing some mechanical work. So what I'm telling is way back around 19, maybe like around 2000, 1998, 99, around that period. So he used to earn 2 rupees, 3 rupees a day, and it will take him 10 days or 15 days to earn the 20 25 rupees. And only then he will buy the notebook. So till the time my teacher used to punish him. So he will make him kneel down or stand outside the classroom, those kinds of stuff. And because he's one of my good friend, like while having lunch, he used to share his feeling. He used to feel very very bad that like he couldn't even able to afford very essential items required for education. So I always used to keep telling the story because till 10th grade, most of the students whom I met till my 10th grade comes from a background like this, very very underprivileged background. So what happened, see, usually I used to get like fourth rank, fifth rank, or sixth rank. I never used to get even first, second, third ranks and all. I don't know what happened during my 10th standard. I think people who used to study well didn't perform, I think. I suddenly became school first in my 10th grade. So my mom thought, okay, this kid has something in his head, so probably better invest on his education and help him, like grow better. So my family didn't have enough money, so they got some loan, and they put me in one of the top 10 private schools in Chennai. So I moved over here. I stayed in an hostel. So after joining the school, I observed a couple of things. The very first thing I observed is, like lot of children in the school were coming from very financially rich background,
Right.
which is completely opposite to the kind of children whom I met till 10th. Till 10th, I'm meeting very poor children, and suddenly here I'm meeting very, very rich children.
Right.
And but the contrasting difference is the difference in quality of education. So the kind of education I got till my 10th is like during my 11th and 12th is like 100, 200 times better than what I used
Better
to get
than.
in a village. And that's
Right.
what, like, as a 11th standard kid, that made me think, hey, this doesn't look fair, because way back in the village, my friends were still getting the same quality of education. And here, because we paid a little bit more money, we get a different kind of education altogether. And I understood, like, inequality in the society starts at that period itself, where you don't provide equal access to children. So that's when I decided, like, okay, I should do something probably once I grow up more, Ashish. So yeah, so that's
Wow.
what my inspiration during my school days.
Okay. So eventually, after your 12th, as you mentioned in your profile that you did your engineering, and that was also
Correct.
in Chennai. That was also in
No,
Chennai.
so, yeah, I no. So I did my engineering in Salem. I'm a metallurgical engineer, so I did it in
Okay.
Salem. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. So, so metallurgical engineering. Any specific reason you chose metallurgical?
Okay, see, because of two reasons. One, so my parents clearly told, like, they couldn't afford me to pay fees in a private college. So my only option was to join a government college, and that was the course available. And moreover, like, I got centum in chemistry during my 12th grade. So I thought, okay, that is somewhere related to
Metallurgical.
chemistry, and I took it. But the most funniest part is what happened is, like, in my entire chemistry book during my 12th grade, I missed one of the chapter. I still remember it's chapter number 3, I think. It's the biggest chapter in the entire book. I skipped that entire chapter because that's what my teacher advised. She told only very specific questions, one liners, and all, which we learned, but we skipped the entire chapter. But still, I ended up scoring a centum. But like, after joining metallurgy, so metallurgy is nothing but that same chapter being taught for 4 years in engineering.
Oh my God.
So it's so funny, like, I went and actually picked that one.
Okay, all right. So basically, metallurgical was something that you got in your government college, and you continued with that engineering. But
Right.
were you passionate about that field at all? Like after you completed your metallurgical engineering, did you still feel that yes, this is what I want to do, and I'll continue doing it?
Yeah, see, what happened is, like I told you, right, up till my 12th grade, I was in my hostel, so I couldn't do much volunteering and all. So I was allowed to go outside the hostel only on a Sunday for 3 hours, so I couldn't do much. So I completed 12th, I joined engineering in Salem. So during my Salem days, like, I started volunteering as an individual on weekends. I started going to
Oh,
orphanages,
okay.
old age homes, visually challenged as an individual. I didn't start Team Everest, but as an individual, I started volunteering. And at that time, I was very I was particular, like, probably I should do something back, create a team and all. So we used to go for some in-plant training and all. I used to go to steel plants, all those different aluminum plants and all. We used to go there. So like, so when I went there, I understood that's not my cup of tea. I used to have dust allergy, and those places were so dusty and all. So
Right.
I thought that's not my cup of tea, number one. And second thing is, like, because I was very passionate about volunteering, and I thought we need to promote. I always used to, like, look at people and worry and wonder, like, why are these people not volunteering? So many
Hmm.
people be spending time elsewhere, but why is volunteering not happening at very few people are doing, not a majority of the people. Just like how majority go to temple, or majority go to shopping, or watching a movie, or like, playing cricket, all those things. Why majority are not volunteering? That was my question. So that's when I thought, like, maybe I should be the person who should take that initiative to drive and enable more people to volunteer. And that time, I was noticing where young people were going on, and I noticed a lot of young people are going and joining IT companies. So that's when I decided,
Correct.
like, almost during my second year, I decided I should join only an IT company, because majority of the youngsters are going to IT company, and that's where I can go and promote volunteering. So that's the period I
Okay.
decided metallurgy is not my cup of tea, and I should go to IT.
Software. Okay. All right. So basically, after your engineering, you joined one of the IT firms as a software engineer, I'm assuming, and then you started your career as a software engineer. Am I right?
Yes, yes, absolutely correct.
So how long did you do that? And uh, at what point? I mean, you already mentioned that you were still volunteering over the weekends, and you were trying to understanding how volunteering works. So back of your mind, you always knew that at some point you want to start something related to
Yeah.
volunteering, correct? But how did you take that decision? How long did it take for you to continue working in IT and then decide that, okay, now is the time I should go ahead and get started? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. See, what happened is I did my engineering between 2002 to 2006. So during my final year, I was campus recruited. So I worked in Cognizant. So that was my first and they so I got my job offer almost 6 months before I complete my graduation. So and once my graduation was done, I attended the training and I joined Cognizant in Chennai, OMR Road. So I still remember August 21, 2006 is my first working day, and August 30, I got my first month's salary. So even before that, right during my final year of my college, we created the logo for Team Everest. I asked one of my junior to create a logo for Team Everest. We didn't have a team. We are not doing anything, but I asked him to do a logo, which we are still using actually. And so after joining it, August 30, 2006, I got my first month salary. So I went and asked some of my friends who got their salary also that, like, hey, can we contribute for a social cause? And I told them we can help children in villages, and three people came forward and including my donation, so four people, we collected 4,000 rupees. We went to a small rural village called Sirumur in Tamil Nadu in Tirunnamalai district. Like a lot of children over there come from very very financially poor backgrounds. Some of them were even child laborers. So they used to wake up early morning around 3 a.m. in the morning, go to gardens nearby, plug jasmine flowers, tie them, and go to a nearby bus stop, sit on the road pavements and sell those flowers, then come back to school. So a lot of children used to do that. So we went to such school. We identified those kinds of children and we gave them like uniforms, notebooks, stationaries, dictionaries, and all. So that's the very first activity of Team Everest. That's how this organization started way back
That's
in
wonderful.
2006.
That's
Actually,
really wonderful. That's a wonderful thing to do. So now tell us a little bit about what is the reason behind calling it Team Everest? What is the story behind that? How did that come?
okay, see, so there are two reasons actually to that. So first thing is, I will tell you the honest reason, and the next reason I actually made it up to name it as Team Everest. So the actual reason is I wanted to give a name. So I thought I can give it a, because I'm from Tamil Nadu, I thought I can give a Tamil name. Then I thought, okay, people outside Tamil Nadu will find it difficult to pronounce. So I thought, okay, why don't we give a name in English? And then I thought, okay, what if we become so famous in future, and how will people know that we are from India? All this I was thinking when I am in third year of my college or final year of my college, and I thought, okay, maybe I should have a name which could relate that we are from India. So that's when I thought, okay, Team Everest is something, like Mount Everest, everyone could relate. So I thought Everest we will name, and I want the word team to be part of it, because I believe, like as a team we can always achieve more. So I made it as Team Everest. So that's the actual reason. The other reason I nowadays I used to give us like, see, like how Mount Everest is the biggest mountain in the world, right? The peak in the world. So I always believe when someone volunteer, that's the best thing you can do. So that's the highest form of becoming a human. You can't do anything better than volunteering.
Yeah.
Someone tells I'm volunteering, you can't do something else to beat that actually. So
Right.
if someone volunteers, they're as tall as Mount Everest. So that's how I
That is
look
true.
into them, because that's the best thing. That's the what do you say? Being a human, that's the best thing you can do.
That is true. I agree.
So,
That's a
so, so I feel that's how this name gets connected. But honestly,
right.
probably if you ask me to start a non-profit today, I would give a different name altogether. A lot of
Okay.
people, in fact, come back and ask us that we are doing all those trekking and all, and asking that they want to climb Mount Everest and all. So I used to keep educating them. No, no, we don't do that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So as you mentioned that while you were working, you as a software engineer, you were also focusing on growing Team Everest, right? You were
Yeah,
doing both of them side by side, and
yeah,
you initially started with three of your friends, as you mentioned, and usually that's what happens. It's word of mouth that works the best for any non-profit organization that you start with. So I'm
yeah.
assuming with you, it's the same thing that happened. Like people started talking, one to two, two to four, four to eight. That's how you started growing, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So what happened is those days, right? 2006 when I joined the IT company. So I used to most of the days I was a Java developer over there working for a banking client. So only on Saturdays, Sundays we could like do a lot of volunteering work, and so and there was a blogging platform at the time within Cognizant. So like after every activity, I used to take the pictures, write a blog post, post it inside. So a lot of people, employees were reading it, commenting it. So I sent a mail to people who volunteer, right? They used to volunteer, forward it to an so those are days where social media, there's no WhatsApp, social media also, I think slowly it was coming up. We didn't use social media, and people are forwarding emails. So I will always used to say we were so lucky to be born in this era, and especially in IT company. So word started spreading very easily. So even like the MD of the company, CEO of the company were reading my blog post. They were commenting over there. I was so surprised. So end of first year, we had almost 1,200 volunteers volunteering with Team Everest. Just within a
Already?
year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Like end of your first year of software engineering work. By
correct.
that, you
Exactly.
already had 1,200 people with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is just amazing. That is so nice to, I mean, it's a good feeling, right? I mean, for
Absolutely.
somebody
See,
like,
that's the power of IT, right? It's very easy to take the message out,
right.
and being in IT, right? So your email gets just forwarded very very easily those days.
So now this is very interesting thing for me and very critical as well. I feel that most of the time I have, in my personal experience, I have seen people not volunteering and giving, well, I should not say excuses, but people trying to justify like why they cannot volunteer because they don't have time, because they have so many other things going on, they cannot volunteer. What were you doing different? How were you convincing people that no, you should think about it and you should do it? And what is the trick behind how you convince people on volunteer?
Okay. See, the way I look at these things is volunteering, wanting to do good to others is something that's inbuilt within every human. Everyone has that. It's just that your busy work gets piled up over those thoughts, and that you just carried away with your day-to-day work. But today, you go back, ask anyone. Everyone is nice, and they actually wanted to do something back to the society. So
Right.
all we have did is actually like create that platform to volunteer. So a lot of people will come back and all. So there's no trick behind it. You make volunteering as easy. So today I used to tell like, can you make volunteering at a click of a button? So today what happens, you want a cab, just a click of a button. You want food, just a click of a
Click of
button. Can you make volunteering as simple as that? So if you could make it very easy, I think like there's a lot more people. And what I'm seeing right now is with the millennials, all those new generation people coming in, there's a lot of enthusiasm. A lot of people wants to give back to the society, and I'm very very happy about it. So volunteering across the globe is actually growing further. So this is the right time to work on those sectors, and like encourage more people to give back to the society.
That's amazing. So now let's focus on Team Everest and tell us a little bit about what all do you do, everything that you do.
Okay, so probably I will first divide Team Everest into two. So like I told you, right, during my cognizant days, the only option for me is to do on weekends. So I used to wake up earlier in the morning to do Team Everest work. Then I had 8 to 9 hours of office job. Then again come back late night. You do Everest job. That's how I was managing, and so almost 8 years. That's how I was managing. So I worked in Cognizant exactly for 100 months. 15 months I was a Java developer, and rest 85 months. So looking at all those things happening when Cognizant started that CSR program, I moved as a full-time CSR person within Cognizant. So rest 85
Oh,
months, it's like I was promoting volunteering as part of Cognizant CSR program within the company.
oh,
So
nice.
and it became, so I was so happy because now like almost entire day our work also has become volunteering promoted. I had a very fantastic experience. I met great people over there. So there's a huge learning happening. So by 2014 December 31st, I quit my job because I decided a lot earlier that probably when I turned 30, around 30, like I decided I should quit job and do this full time.
Full
So by
time.
the time
Mm.
Team Everest also had close to 9,500 volunteers.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was growing heavily. We didn't have employees, nothing. So but we need to do lot of work. So I thought if I can quit the job, I can make more people to volunteer. So I quit the job. I came out. We didn't have office, no employees. Slowly we started adding people. So today, if you look at it, we have around 23 to 25 people working full time with us, and we have around 25,000 volunteers. So these are volunteers not just from Tamil Nadu or India. So we have volunteers from 30 different countries. So all Indians, but move to different countries and wanting to give back to the society. In fact, in US, we have around 3,000, 4,000 people volunteering with us right now. So,
Wow.
and we work with, like you mentioned at the beginning, we work with around 40,000 children, right from LKG children to college students. We do a lot of different work. So, till 2014, it's like most of the work were weekends. But after I quit the job, most of our work we work throughout the year. So, coming to
So,
what the yeah, sorry, Ashish. Go ahead.
no, no, go ahead. Go ahead. No, I was just
Yeah.
going to ask you that the most difficult decision for anybody in their life is to stop something that is working and venture into something that you don't know how it is going to go, right?
Yeah.
So for you, like your job at Cognizant was paying you enough where you could run your family, where you can pay your bills and everything, right? But with a non-profit organization, that part, that fear is always there on how will things work if I don't get enough money that I'm
Yeah.
getting right now.
Yeah.
So how did you make that decision?
Yeah, so that's a very common question everyone actually asks. So yeah, probably I will answer that. Maybe that would help some of them who's listening to this as well. So yeah, see what happened is by 2014. So I took that decision to quit. The basic reason is very simple, like, see, what happened is at some point of time the road is diverging. See, I take this road, probably I would be financially good. I have a strong bank balance, but I might not be chasing my dream of promoting volunteering in India. So that's this road. And the other road is actually, like, okay, I might not have a very strong bank balance, but probably, like, I would have chased the dream of promoting volunteering in India. So now the two roads are diverging and you need to decide which road to take. And I had a very simple question in front of me. I asked myself, okay, I am in my dead bed right now, and what if what will I what will make me happy, or will something make me regret? So the answer was very, very clear. If say I was financially rich, at a healthy bank balance, but I do not have I have not chased my dream of promoting volunteering in India, I felt that I would be regretting my life still. But if probably I would have chased promoting volunteering in the country but not a healthy bank balance, I felt I will still happily die. So the decision was so easy for me, and that's what actually made me to take the decision. And I will say
Wow.
it's not an easy decision. It's yeah, it's kind of scary. But one thing, that day I still remember, like, I gave my ID card in my office. I was walking out with my wife, and it's sunset. I still remember that evening. But that day, like, looking at that office, I just told to myself one thing: whatever be the result after quitting the job, I'm not going to regret this decision, because until you don't go try it out, you don't know what will happen, right? So that day I decided, like, no matter what the result is, I'm not going to regret this decision. And thank God, till date, like, I'm just living the dream of promoting volunteering in the country.
So you mentioned your wife and your family is extremely important when you take a decision like this. If without
Correct.
their support, it is not possible to take a decision like this. So
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about how did your family support you on this decision?
Yeah. So probably I will, yeah, mention a little bit about that as well. See, what happened is, so my mom actually passed away in 2011 because of cancer. And so she had cancer earlier also, like around I think 2006 2007. I was fresh into Cognizant. So like, during those time, I used to take care of the treatment expenses and all. So there was a loan in my home. I still remember the day my mom was very, very proud. Like, I actually completely taken care of that loan and paid it fully. So she was very proud the very first year that I took some of these family responsibilities. And 2011 she got cancer again, but this time couldn't help her. She passed away, and exactly 20 months down the line. So my father, it's on May 1st, after watching IPL match and watching a movie, went to bed. He didn't wake up the next day, so he passed away in sleep because of heart attack. And like, so those few things taught something very important things in my life. I knew that life is very, very unpredictable, so you can't take life for granted. So I decided, like, you should go and start going and chasing my dreams. So May 2nd, 2013, my father passed away. So I think within next 4 months I got married, because even before, when my mom passed away, she wanted to get me married. That couldn't happen. My father also passed away, so entire family, both of them passed away, thinking that, wanting to see my marriage, but they couldn't see. So then my family, like, we rushed into the marriage, and I got married. So even before the marriage, so my wife name is Vidya. So I told Vidya that, like, probably I will be quitting my job around this 2014 period, 1.5 years into, and she was absolutely fine with it. So she is one of the reason why I could continue doing Team Everest today. So the decision became easier in 2014. So both my mom and dad no more, and my wife was working at the time, so she was making some good money. She was working in an IT as well. So I thought, okay, let's probably, she could support financially, and I can go in there. And so next, till from 2014, so my last salary was in December 2014. I didn't get any salary for next 5 years. So, and I had some savings within, which I earned during my cognizant days, and I was using that. So I was exhausting that money very quickly, and I know that, like, I can't survive at beyond some point of time. And so 2020, I wrote a blog post. I told people, 5 years I'm not taking any salary, and this is my dream, and I want to keep continuing this dream. I need sponsors who can sponsor my salary, so that I can go and do this and help more people to volunteer and help more children. So some 25-30 people came forward to pay my salary, and for the past 1 year, I'm taking a salary finally. So this is salary much lesser compared to what I used to take in my cognizant days, but at least it helps me survive today. So in case some of you are who are listening wants to sponsor me for my salary, also more than welcome. So my belief is that if you go and help others, there will be always people who will come and help you as well. So yeah, so that's my story. That's how I'm surviving right now,
So
Ashish.
just to show you one comment that one of our viewers just put in for you. Just wanted
Mm.
to you to read that out. Um,
Yeah.
what a great, kind-hearted, dedicated gentleman Karthi is. I'm sure he will achieve the heights of Mount Everest one day with his volunteering team. Wish him all the very best. God bless him. So
Thank you.
definitely your work is being recognized, and people are very commendable about your what you are doing. So tell us a little bit about how the whole thing works at Team Everest. I'm so sorry.
No
Uh,
problem. Yeah.
so, so tell us a little bit about how things work, and what are the different kind of ways that someone can get connected, and how can they approach you?
Sure, yeah. Probably I will first talk about the initiatives, the question
Yeah,
that you
sure,
asked a little bit
sure.
before. Yeah, see, in Team Everest, we call it as two pillars of Team Everest. One, we call it as promoting volunteering and providing education. So but before that, with providing education, so we do a lot of scholarship programs. So we do three kinds of scholarship. One, we call it as I am the change scholarship, which is for college children. So we identify parentless single parented students, and we sponsor them for their UG degree, so undergraduation degree, actually. Because see, what happens is, a lot of children, if you understand how education system works in India right now, most of the state governments has actually made school education free of cost. So if you are even very, very financially poor in India, you can still go to a government school, offered a free education over there. But what happens after 12th grade is there are very few government colleges where the fees is less, and it's also one or two in a place. Many, especially in cities, in other places, towns and villages, you don't even have a government college. So the only way someone can become a graduate is by paying a hefty fee and joining a private college. So that's where a lot of children drops out also. So
Oh,
what we
okay.
do is, and especially when you are a parentless single parented child, So when I say parentless, right, our students do not come from orphanages, so they're taken care by their grandma, grandpa, aunt, or uncle. And when I say single parented, what is happening is you go to I've done this in multiple places. Any place you go, you take 100 children, 90 children would have lost their father. So it's a single mother who takes care of them. Only 10 children have lost their mothers and live with their father. This is very, very consistent in many places across India. So today, if you don't have women's right and hardworking mothers, many of these families would be broken. So that's why I have very, very high respect for these kinds of women, because they keep this family alive and they take care of the children actually. So we identify these kinds of children and we sponsor them for their UG degree. So currently we sponsor around 850 students for their
So,
UG degree.
so before you continue, one important question: how do you identify them? Like, do you have people going to like every school and finding these kids? How does this work?
Absolutely. So we have multiple models to do this. This scholarship is very, very location specific. See, currently we are doing this in three places within Tamil Nadu: Chennai, Coimbatore, and Madurai. And 2021, this year we are expanding to Bangalore, Mumbai, and Pune as well. This scholarship. So currently we have 2, 3 different models via which we get application. One model we call it a SAD, SAD, so school application drive. So what our team does is they go to around 200, 250 government schools within the city. We meet the principal, explain about the scholarship, get permissions, and we bring those kinds of children, explain about the scholarship, and get the applications. That is one. So that itself gives a huge coverage within the place. And then we what we do is we put it on social media channels actually, and social media and WhatsApp, which creates, it gets forwarded, a lot of people share about it. And then like, so we have an IVR number where people can give once they get selected by the board interventions. And the third way people can apply, see, a lot of newspapers, magazines write article about this during once their +2 results are out, and like people get to know about this, and through word of mouth a lot of people come and apply. So these are the ways how these things go out. We get applications. So give you a small number, last year we sponsored 450 children for their UG degree, but for selecting 450 children we got application from 6,000 children. So from
So
6,000,
that is what. So that was going to be my next question. How do you filter? How do you identify that which ones actually need help? Because it's a difficult
correct, yeah.
task to do. Yeah.
Yes, you see, it
So
takes us 2 months to 3 months to actually shortlist artists. We have a 8-step selection process, which includes student interview, parent interview. There's an assessment that we actually do. We do a home visit. There's a commitment which you do. We check which school they are from, what is their mark criteria. So we have some 8 steps which we take it through to filter this application and then support.
has it ever happened where somebody felt that they are eligible but they were not selected, and did they get upset about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every year it happens. I will tell you something. See, uh, anytime you get application, right? Every year, I'm seeing this scholarship. We are doing it for past 5 years. Every year, what I see is at least 1/3 of the applicants were very, very deserving. 33% at least would be very, very deserving. But what we are sponsoring is around 4% to 7% of the applicants also, which means we are leaving out very, very lot of deserving children. We are not giving scholarship because we do not have enough money. So
Fund.
rising
Yeah.
enough, because in our country, right, the need is always more than the supply actually. So that is why,
Yeah.
like, more people should come back, take philanthropy, charity very seriously, and like contribute, which I see a lot of people happening. A lot of people have become monthly donors. They contribute a certain amount month on month, and this trend goes more, right. These kinds of requests could be taken care.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because that's what I was wondering, that based on the fund that you have, you won't be able to satisfy everybody's needs, and that is
Yeah.
where it gets
And
very challenging.
yeah, and whatever I'm talking about is just in 3 cities last year. It's only in Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai. I'm not even inviting entire India.
And,
You can't then do it
okay.
at all.
Right. Right. Right.
So
So basically, you can increase your input of the kids coming in if you get more funding, basically. So you basically have to
absolutely
decide based on the funding that you have.
correct,
Uh,
correct. And we
Right.
stopped the number of applications last year because we know 6,000 itself is huge and we can't sponsor many children. So we stopped getting applications after 6,000 applications. So if not, now we would have ended up at 10,000, 12,000
I know.
applications per
Right.
year.
Right. So is government helping you in any which way?
No, see, there are, okay, see, if you look at a non-profit, right, a non-profit can get funds from four sources. So one is individual, second is corporate, third are grants organization, which provides grants, and fourth is government. So we provide, we get support from three sources, not from government, because so that's a very different kind of expectations, all those things. So that's not our cup of tea. So most of our funds actually comes from individuals,
I
and
see.
that's where the funds lies in.
Okay, I see. But I'm just trying to understand. So, is there a reason why government cannot help? Is there some criteria based on which government can help?
No, see,
I
the
mean,
government also provides grant for different kind of program, and they have their own different kind of scholarships, all those things. But see, whenever you take a government grant, right, my understanding is that you know to run the program as per their guidelines. You can't
oh
run
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
program
yeah.
and
You are right.
use their grant.
That is right. That is right. So yeah, yeah. Then you get restricted to how government wants you to run and not have the freedom of running it the way you
Absolutely.
want to run.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see. I see. Okay. So now the next question I have is once you have this, the kids you have selected, and then you know that these are the kids that need help. What is the next step? What do you do with them then? After that, what happens?
Yeah, see, once we shortlist these children last year, you know, like, so we will do an inauguration event, scholarship inauguration event, where we bring all the children and the parents and the donors actually to a place. We do a 1 day program with them, explaining what is Team Everest, what is this scholarship all about, and then we give them scholarship letters. Suppose that what happens is, see, this scholarship actually happens contains four items. So one is the financial assistance. So it costs us around 42,000 rupees per student per year, around $570, $580 per year. So that's the cost. And so out of this, up to 30,000 rupees goes to the student, 12,000 rupees is used for the training program. So this
Okay.
scholarship has financial assistance. Then we provide training program, 100 hours of training for the children, skill development training like spoken English, improving their aptitude skills, how to clear an interview, all those things has been taught to them. And then we provide internships. We partner with various corporates during May and help them get do internships with corporates. And during the final year, we help them get jobs also by sharing their resume with the corporates we know, helping them facilitate some interviews for them, all those stuff. So the idea is to take identified deserving children and give them financial assistance, training, internships, and help them get a job, so that if they get a good job, they get a good salary. And if you get a good salary, you can pull your family out of poverty. So that is how
That is
this
true.
entire scholarship has been designed, Ashish.
So, how many kids so far has gone through that journey and they are doing well because of the help they got from you?
Yeah, yeah. So we have 850 children. So 50 children already passed out. So this year another 150 children are passing out. So we have so many such success stories. You know, like we have a student who was selling samosas on street, and today he's an assistant manager in Royal Enfield. So,
Wow.
and he is
Wow. That
sponsoring one of the student part of the scholarship. So we have many such success stories like this, because you know, like, for a lot
that
of children in India,
mhm.
education is the only light ahead. You know, like, that's their only solution to come out of poverty.
Yeah, that is true. And that must make you feel so proud about what your, not just you, but your entire team is doing. All the volunteers that they are doing, like to change somebody's life in a better way and give them and help them understand what life actually is and able to lead a good life. And you being part of their journey, oh my God, that's a big thing. No doubt about it. So now tell us, what are the different programs that, like, other than sponsoring you with money, what are the different ways that a volunteer can get associated with Team Everest?
Absolutely. So, like I told you, you know, like, the other part is the volunteering programs that we do. So, because see, this organization, the goal itself, like I told you, our vision itself is to inspire everyone to volunteer. So that's our basic goal. So we create a lot of volunteering opportunities throughout the year. So if someone can go to our website,
Oh, okay.
www.teammembers.ngo, we put up all those volunteering activities over there, and we divide this into two things. One, we call it as adult volunteering program, and we another thing we call it as children volunteering program. So when I say children, right, both school children and college students, anyone from the age of 3 can volunteer. And all our volunteering programs today are virtual volunteering programs. You don't need a physical presence of you coming and volunteering. So because today my challenge is, we are sitting in very few cities, but we have volunteers across the globe, so we can't run only physical volunteering program. And because of COVID, now all our physical volunteering has come to an halt. So 100% of the things that we do are virtual volunteering, and last year we engaged around 10,000 volunteers by giving time. So 10,000 people gave time for various volunteering opportunities of us. So today, if say some of you are parent, even they can volunteer, or retired people can volunteer. And even say you are a parent and you have a child, your children can also volunteer. So we have around 52 types of activities. So it's like going to a restaurant, you see a list of menu, right? Say three people go to a restaurant, they see three people order three different things because their taste is different, right? We look at volunteering something like that, because like everyone has a different taste. So we give diverse volunteering opportunities so that people can sign up for that activity, and they can teach over most of these activities. We have two kinds of activities. One, we call it as do it yourself activity, where you need not interact with a beneficiary, but you can sit in the home and you can say create a curriculum or voice record a story for a visually challenged. Those kinds of activities you could do. So you can do it at any time, even if a time zone is very, very different. And second kind of activity is beneficiary connect, where we connect you with a beneficiary over the phone. So you can do a WhatsApp call or something like that, one-on-one, and you can do it. So if most of the people are in US, we have a lot of people from US volunteering in their evening time. So our children wake up in the morning and attend the classes. So in case some of them are very interested to volunteer, they can always sign up on our website, and we'll keep them posted whenever new volunteering opportunities comes up.
That is amazing. Did you mention 52 different activities?
Yes, we have 52 different types of activities actually.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I will definitely go back and check on your website what those activities look
So
like.
we have not
And
listed all of them actually over there, but some of them
okay,
has been reserved for corporates, all those things. But once people volunteer and sign up as a volunteer there and follow us on social media, you will get a lot of diverse opportunities throughout the year actually.
okay. So now, where do you now coming to the part? Where do you see yourself moving forward, and how do you want to take this organization forward? I mean, I definitely know one thing for sure, that you want more and more volunteers to, more and more people to take volunteering seriously and help the society. That is for sure there. Other than that, what all do you have in your strategy, in your plan going forward?
Yeah.
What do you want to do with it?
Right. See, our basic goal is to, like I told you, our vision itself is to promote volunteering in the country. So we are now building a team where we can increase the number of people who could volunteer. So last year, 10,000 people volunteered. So this year, our goal is to add another 70%. So 17,000 volunteers is what we are looking to engage in 2021. So this number will keep increasing. So we have a 2025 goal where we need to engage like more than 1 lakh people in volunteering every month kind of. So that's been the goal, and the idea is to, like, even if we could make 1% of the India to volunteer, a lot of organization will probably look into us and create this opportunity. The idea is, how do you make volunteering as a habit? That's the goal. So that, like, you see, today what happens is volunteering is something people do when they find time, but can you make it as a habit, just like how you casually go to a shopping or
Yeah.
do watch a TV like that? Like, how do you fit it
Can you
within your
prioritize it?
schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Prioritize
can
it
you put
basically.
the
Yeah.
top 5 so that you can accommodate it within your day or within your week? So that's something we are trying to look, because see, today what is happening is there's an imbalance in the world, right? So there are people who have access to resources, and there are people who needs it. So all you need to do is do that bridging. So the bridging could be in terms of two: someone is financially rich, someone doesn't have that money. So that's one kind of thing. On the other hand, say someone knows English, someone doesn't know, they need language skills. Now you can just volunteer teach them. So it could be applied for anything. Coding, other person doesn't know coding. Now how can you volunteer and teach them coding? So there are many ways a person can volunteer and give back. I feel, like, every person who's educated today thinks that I should give back to the society. We can, like, that no child will probably struggle to get educated or probably to become a graduate in future. So
Right.
I feel
Right.
with all those crises in the world, volunteering, empathy, kindness plays a very crucial role.
Right. Now, other than the volunteers, to run an organization, you need a team. So, how does your team look like? How many people you have who are not volunteering as such, but helping you grow this organization?
Right. See, we have around 23, 25 people working full time with us.
Oh,
So
okay.
we are very diverse team. So like I told you, right, 2006 we started till 2014 no employees. So 2015 I took my first employee and slowly we added, because like running a non-profit not so easy, because people usually give money only for children, so they don't give money to pay your employee salary, and then you will die very quickly. So that's something we need to educate donors also about it. But over time slowly we build models where we could raise enough money to run our organization. So today we have a team, because this team actually takes care of 25,000 people, who in turn impact 40,000 children a year. So that's very crucial for us. Beyond this, we have a small interns team. So we pick some 10 children, 10 students from our scholarship itself, and pay them a small monthly stipend and make them as interns, so that like they do some crucial jobs like calling children, following up with them, probably like getting some information infos from them. All those kind of very transactional tasks our interns take care of. Ashish.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Now because you have this team, I'm assuming that you also do some kind of data analysis based on whatever you have done so far, and look at some kind of trends, some kind of insights, and do take action based on those. Does your team do that?
Yeah. So we do those kinds of data analytics actually.
Oh, okay. So have you find something that has surprised you, which you did not know, unless you looked at the data and it has surprised you that, oh wow, like I never thought that this was the case. Like one thing, as you mentioned, like out of 100, 80 kids don't have their father, and it's
Yeah.
only 20 that
Yeah.
have their father. So something like that, very interesting fact that you came to know about based on the data analysis, based on the data that you have analyzed so far.
Yeah. See, yeah, like I told you, right, we have around 6,000 people outside India itself is a new number for me. So today we have more than around some 2,000, 3,000 children volunteering, school and college children volunteering with us. That was very
Oh,
surprising when we did this. And so almost 75 percentage of our students in scholarship are girls. So we don't have a separate quota for girls, but even if I take 100 applications from boys, 100 applications from girls, very equal number of applications, still 75% of the children who get applications are girls. And our children study in some 200, 250 different colleges right now. um, what else? Almost 40%. So most preferred courses for these children were arts and science courses. Very few children takes engineering. So what's some that's a very interesting trend happened, because like when I used to be part of Cognizant CSR also, we used to run scholarships there. So those days when I get 100 applications, 90 children will apply for engineering and 10 children will apply for other courses. This is in
right,
2012, 2013 I am talking about. The trend has completely changed in India after like 5 6 years, from 2016 17, right? 100 applications I get, 90 children ask for arts and science, hardly 2 or 3 children ask for engineering right now.
okay,
So
okay.
the pace of
So
engineering, and
were
this is
you
in Tamil Nadu I'm talking about.
right, right? Have you still found the reason why it is like that?
No, so basically what happened is the quality of engineering has gone down. A lot of colleges are getting closed in Tamil Nadu. So all
Right,
those were the major reasons, and the cost of doing engineering is also very high. But
right.
despite that, 2012, lot of underprivileged children used to go there. But now like
You
people
have
got to
changed
know,
it.
okay, the quality is not so good and all, and a lot of engineers are not getting employed. So people preferred taking arts and science. And today BCom is the very hard course in Tamil Nadu. So you get 100 applications, at least 40 to 50 children apply for BCom. So you
Okay,
have a
all right.
next boom coming up. You will see a lot of BCom graduates coming up in
I
future.
see. I see. Okay. Well, we have like about 5 6 minutes left. One thing I wanted to ask you, like, Bharat FM and Bharat TV being a global platform, we would definitely want to help you and be part of your wonderful cause. Uh, how do you think some like a channel like us can help you grow and in the right direction and help you have more volunteers?
Yeah, see, I believe, see, today at Team Everest, we do not have a marketing budget actually, even after
Correct.
14 years. So most of our work is being done with the help of our volunteers, word of mouth, and people like you. When we come and interview, we get introduced to new people. So organization like you could help promote some of these causes. And whenever we do some programs, at times we need 500 people, 1,000 volunteers in say 5 days, 10 days time. So like you guys could act as a medium in promoting these kinds of scholarships or volunteering programs and help us get more donors or more volunteers. So that's the biggest help you guys could actually do. So how do you keep your community engaged, apart from watching shows? Can you make them get into action? So I think
Right.
that's the role
Right.
entities like you could do.
Right. Like one thing just came to my mind, and we will explore this option a little more. We will keep in touch, of course. But one option I was thinking of is getting those students who actually has gone through this whole program and they are leading a better life than what they could have. If we bring them on this platform and we understand their story, and more people come to know their story, I think that could be one way of uh, educating people on understanding why it is important to volunteer. Maybe that could be one of the way of doing it. But
Sure.
we will talk about that in detail for sure. We will keep in touch on that. And I myself will definitely get involved for sure. I can assure you that. So we
Thank
have
you.
like 4 minutes left, Karthi, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. We definitely have enjoyed knowing more about you and your organization and your passion for this cause. So now, before we finally end this program, any last few words that you would like to say to our listeners and our viewers?
Okay. So, see, like I told you during the program, right? So we met a student called Karthik in 2008 in a school. So, like his school principal was telling, I know a student who has scored good marks, but there's no one to help him. And I told, okay, ask him to come and meet me. So he met me around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night. He came with the samosa plate selling samosas, and I asked him what is his mark. He scored around 84, 85 percentage, and he told he wanted to become an automobile engineer, and he couldn't even apply for that engineering because the application form cost 500 rupees, and he didn't have that 500 rupees to apply. So it's way back in 2008, and I asked him, like, okay, if we support you, will you study well? He told, yes, I will do it, sir. And we didn't have enough money. We are also a very young organization at the time. I went back, I dropped a mail to my friends or volunteers. People came in, supported for next 4 years. In 2012, he became an engineer. Meantime, while he was doing engineering, his father passed away. So then he became the major breadwinner of the family, and he took care of it. So today, if you look at it, he bought a home. He bought a flat in Chennai. He was married. He has a kid, and he sponsored another kid in
Wow.
kid as part of the scholarship. And when I look at things like this, right, it gives me so much of hope. And look at the kind of power a human being has. Like we believe only God can actually change someone's fate, but not so true. Volunteers like this can actually change someone's fate. That's why I call volunteers as gods. You have so much power within you, and you can go change someone's life. You can change their destination forever. And that's the
Right.
reason I request everyone to volunteer, because you have the potential, you have the power to go and change lives. So my only request is volunteer despite how busy you are, and encourage your children, your family members to volunteer. Because if you think you are struggling, I would say there are more people beyond you who struggling much more than you. So those kinds of people need your support. So keep volunteering, because you have the power to change lives. So that's the only
So,
message I want to give, Ashish.
so you at least have one listener or one viewer who has already shown interest. Deepam
Fantastic.
Nair, she is
Thank you.
one of the top fans of Bharat FM. She already mentioned that would love to be involved. Thanks, Ashish and Bharat FM, for bringing such organizations to our notice. So we have started on the right foot. We have started our journey already. We will continue to be in touch with you, Karthi, and try to understand how we can get involved. at Bharat FM with Team Everest. Um, one thing I noticed, and I think I want to mention that, is you are using your wife's name in your last name, and I salute you for that, man. That is really something great that people need to understand on respecting women and giving more respect as much as possible. So thank you very much for using your wife's name as the last name. So
Thank
with
you so
that,
much.
we come to an end of our program. Karthee, thank you very much once again for your time. And we will keep in touch. And with that, I would say good night to you in India and to all our viewers over here. Have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. And we will be back with another guest next Sunday once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Namaskar.
much, sir. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, welcome and adab. You are listening to Bharat FM, a one of its kind, multilingual, eclectic provider of entertainment, information, and news to Indian Americans. Headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, Bharat FM airs shows out of Cincinnati, Chicago, and Phoenix. We take pleasure in our ability to cater to your bhakti, chusti, sfurti, shakti, and masti needs with our audio and visual shows. Check out bharatfm.com for our online program schedule and archives. I'm sure the content will definitely tickle your senses. Tune in via the 24-hour web streaming on bharatfm.com or via the Bharat FM app. More information can be procured at 513-488-5070.
This is Bharat FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.
ये है भारत FM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत.